Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Just wanted to do a quick little video. I know I haven't been on the ball that much recently with my live streams and things like that. So, what I've been doing, well, I'm actually putting this up to explain why I haven't been doing many live streams. To be honest with you, life's been busy over the last little bit, things like that. Been doing some stuff with Unity. Been doing some Unity projects on the side. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. You guys will see, hopefully, some information for the Unity project maybe in the next month. It won't really be an announcement, but a couple people with myself, we are going to be working together to possibly create a Unity game in the Unity engine, like a zombie survival game. But this is not the video about that. This is the video that I wanted to do up today. So one of the reasons why I've been doing live streams is because I've been cooking a lot lately, like a lot, a lot lately. Actually, if I can find my external, yeah, here we go. Tons and tons of food and stuff I've been doing lately. But this is the thing I've been doing actually for Friday. I'm actually doing this Thursday afternoon. On the right here, we've got some. It's just generic wood chips, but they've been soaked in Jameson whiskey and some water to kind of make it so that it's not that expensive as wood chips. I got them soaking, and on the left here we have some hickory wood chips. I've got them soaking in just water. That way they don't burn as fast. They're a little bit more, we'll say green, so they smoke up a lot better, and they're overall very good. Here is the actual piece of meat where I'm actually cooking up. This is after 3 days of it seasoned. I didn't do much other than trim off some of the fat. You can kind of see here, I kind of trimmed off some. And this area here, basically gave the scraps to my dog. But basically just salt, pepper, equal parts salt, pepper, garlic, granulated or fresh. I use granulated just because it's easier, and paprika. And threw them all on it and just let it sit. Basically just threw it on and let it sit for a couple of days with saran wrap on the bottom of my fridge for 3 days. And then today I took it out. It's either is a bit of a brine on it, which is the thing you're looking for. The brine is helping breaking down the roast a little bit, breaking down those connective tissues, which is good. We're making sandwiches out of it. So as you see, the grain is kind of just going this way. So we're actually cutting it against the grain. So we're cutting it this way, like vertically pretty much from this picture. So tenderness I'm not too worried about because I already know it's gonna be really tender because I have round roast. But at the same time, you know, tenderness is still important to me, just cause. But also that imparts all the flavor from the salt, the pepper, the garlic, the onion, or sorry, from the garlic and the paprika. What I did after it sat for 3 days is I gave it a bit of a cleaning. Patted it down, took off some of that brine, because the brine basically is the salt. It gets in, takes out some of the moisture, breaks down some of the extra stuff you have on the outside, and then goes back into the meat and helps break things down. So I took off some of it, just a little bit of the brine and a little bit of the coating for the second coating. Now this is a little different. This is salt, more salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and a older wood rub, like a coarse rub that I have. And you can see chunks of garlic and pepper and stuff like that. And what I did was the finer stuff first. My garlic, granulated garlic, granulated onion, obviously granulated salt, granulated pepper. Just kind of lightly put them on there and didn't do anything too crazy. Then what I did was after I had flipped it, patted it down, put it on, and patted it down, I let it sit for 5 minutes. And then I had my coarser rub. That'll give it a bit of a crunch, I'm hoping. But it's got chunks of, as you can see here, chunks of garlic, which is my main thing. And it had some older wood smoked salt mixed in with it. And some other seasonings, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, a little bit of salt and things like that. And then I put that on there and actually rubbed it in. Like actually rubbed it. Didn't use a binder. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff around the outsides here. I'm not a big fan of binders. I feel that binders always take away from the taste. Because you use olive oil, I've noticed like sometimes you can taste the olive oil depending on how it's cooked. Um, some people use mustard. I always find I can taste the mustard. I'll only do mustard if certain things are called for in the recipes I'm making. But overall, I really don't. And then here is me actually completed. That's a. This is actually a well, what Americans would call a Boston butt. Here in Canada, we call it a picnic shoulder. Um, Basically, it's pulled pork. Is what this thing turned out. You can see the bone kind of sticking out over there. But overall, though, back to the eye of round, which is what I've been doing recently over the last little bit. As you can see here, as I zoom in a little closer, you can see the chunks of the coarse chunks of salt, pepper, lots of nice and lots of goodness in that. And then in this thing, you can just see lots of like mostly the peppers on the outside. I can't really see any of the salt anymore because it's created, as you can see over here, as I zoom in, a bit of a brine, which is really good for your for the meat to make it a lot tender. And then obviously our woods. A couple of things I've been doing over the last little bit. I was making some chicken. This is actually coconut curry chicken. Made some of that over the last little bit. I think this is the thing I did earlier. Oh, wait, hold on, sorry. This is just a simple roast we did for dinner a couple nights ago. Just an 8-pound outside round roast. Salt, pepper, onion, garlic, a little bit of a store-bought marinade. Let it sit for a couple days. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special. And threw it up on the smoker. And we just smoked it. Let it get a nice crust on the outside and all that stuff. And it actually turned out pretty good. Looking here. Let's go up to the top. Here is from the previous picture. Another pulled pork that we did. Basically just a nice apple-based rub or apple wood smoke or apple wood based woods and things like that. Made it really nice. There's all the gristle. You can see my favorite beer right down there. Oh, that's the cottage. There's my girlfriend right there, Becky. There's the smoker going at full tilt. There's one of the briskets we recently did. It was a 12-pound brisket. So yeah, doing a lot of cooking recently. There's some ribs that we've been doing up. There they all are, all done up in their sauces. We did a Kentucky style barbecue sauce, but before that we had I think it was more like a very vinegar / dill rub that we did. Basically, we got dill that you would use for pickles. We rubbed those on the ribs there, and we did those up. And then we used a very sticky and thick Kentucky style barbecue sauce. Once they were pretty much cooked, threw them on there, rubbed them up in at the very end there, wrapped them up in the barbecue in the tin foil and cooked them up. That is a week marinating roast that turned out beautiful. There's the other side of it, amazing. There is the other side, the pulled pork that you saw earlier, because I prepared this one earlier. This is actually this. It turned out beautifully. What else here we've been doing? Trying to keep people apprised. Just been busy, like I said. Here is obviously you can see kind of, well, I can't really see the bone. The bone's not really not sticking it because it was not cooked, but that's how big it is. So that's my hand. That is a 20-pound pork shoulder. All seasoned up there with with garlic, pepper, salt. 2 different types of smoked salt. I have alderwood smoked salt and then applewood smoked salt. Did that, but then if I can go to one of oh, that was me trying to take a picture. That was before I was doing something else there, but applewood actually I think this was apple, applewood. We actually got it, and I actually soaked it in apple juice to give it a more sweetness, as you can see from the little bit of the bubbliness around it. And there she is, all cooked up. That's another roast that we did. Yorkshire puddings, another night. There's another roast. It's one of the roasts we did the other day. Oh, that's other stuff. It's renovation stuff. Went to the Royal Ontario Museum as well for my girlfriend and I's anniversary. Had some corned beef sandwiches. I think that might be all I have for food on my phone, actually. Oh, no, I already showed you guys that. I already showed you guys this. The corned beef showed. Got a lot of pictures on my phone for hopefully a future renovation. Kind of want to renovate our the look of our pantry a little bit, because we don't have one. I'm kind of going for something that pulls out kind of like that maybe, or something that has walls like this, or even pull out doors like this maybe. But yeah, we're looking at our pantry idea. That's not my kitchen. There's that. Or even something like a door like that that goes into a back room that's actually a pantry. Even having a pantry like this, then another walk-in pantry with a fridge and stuff. So we're doing lots of stuff around the house and things like that as well. That is a Canadian Forces meal. It's a hamburger and a poutine. Chicken poutine, if I'm not mistaken. From the Canadian Forces, actually. What's the next picture? The next picture is my dog. Is the puppy. He actually brought that up on his own. I'm watching HPG in the background there. Oh, there we go. We did some. Knew there was one or two more pictures in here. We also did pork chops as well. They turned out amazing. Breaded them, deep fried them. Turned out to be amazing. We did some mashed potatoes as well. Blender, boom. And then we also made our own homemade, or I made a homemade applesauce. So, Urban Mech. We've been doing a lot over the last little week or so I do apologize for the lack of videos and things like that. But we are getting things... Wow, there's a lot of pictures open. Good to go. Does it open a separate instance for every single thing that I did? It did. Okay. Wow. Yeah, so the plan is over the next little bit to get back into the live streaming. I know I keep saying that, but this coming Monday, the 17th, is when we're going to start doing live streaming like crazy. Over this weekend, I'm going to get myself back to sleeping at a proper time. There is a weekend I'm going away for my girlfriend's birthday. Friday as well. Of this week is my girlfriend's best friend's birthday, so needless to say, we've got stuff there to do, but I'm going to try and get a live stream in later on this afternoon and then get a whole bunch of them in tomorrow. But yeah, so I am going to have a video up as well of talking about the Unity project and what it is and what we're doing, and where you could possibly support the project as well once we get a working model. Plan is we don't want to really make it too public until we get a working model done. Long story short, it is going to be a zombie survival game. We are going to be it's going to be not a first person, but like isometric, so you're going to be looking down at yourself while playing. It's going to be kind of 8-bit-ish. We're using someone else's assets, so we're actually purchasing the assets. So we're probably going to be setting up like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something like that to kind of help us get the assets and help kind of support the whole thing as it goes. We're not going to have a lofty goal by any means, but we're also not going to have any major stretch goals. Our goals are pretty much going to be single player game. Any stretch goals we make are just going to be additions to the game itself, the base game. Like if we hit X amount above our regular, we hit this much money, we'll make another map type thing. Nothing too crazy, nothing too drastic or anything like that. But with that in mind, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this video, and stay tuned for some more live streams and things like that. I'll see you guys soon. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.